Hello everybody, welcome to another YouTube video. I am Robelle, Autonomy, and today we are reacting to a Zenless Zone Zero character teaser for Yidhari. Alright, it's called Hot Spring Siren. As per usual, I will be pausing to go with the reaction video to break down the animation, as these teasers tend to be live 2D animated, making them have some pretty interesting stuff. Anyway, without further ado, let's hop right into it. We all know that Yidhari is quite the fanservice-y character, at least design-wise, but her personality, we got to know her a little bit in the event, but I feel like we haven't seen the true Yidhari. Alright, we've only seen her under strenuous circumstances. We've only seen her... Actually, no, that's it. We've only seen her in strenuous circumstances. We haven't seen her in a casual setting. We don't really know her too well, and she isn't released yet, so we haven't really gotten to talk to her in-game. So let's take a look at this teaser. Alright, here we are. Let's stop the music real quick and take a look here. And we'll be watching it without pausing at the end of the video.
This is a legend about sea monsters that's been told for generations.
And she is an octopus siren. Definitely. I got the Starry Night in the background, okay?
Sailing tonight.
Weird. The forecast never said anything about a storm.
Just dang, the flippin'... This is a very, like, hard camera angle to pull off with, like, this live 2D style animation. But it looks like they just drew this entire upper body and then have little legs moving underneath. And they're not redrawn every time. Okay.
Never said anything about a storm.
A small remote town. Weird. Where's my compass?
Very, very beautiful
Something that
backgrounds.
rose up from the...
My goodness. Dang, the comp editor is actually going crazy. Look at that. Actually, no, that might be just a whole... It's the same illustration, but it might just be like they recolored it. From scratch, yeah, no, it's most definitely not a... It's not something you just do in comp. At least I don't think so. Now, one thing that's interesting I noticed is if you look over on this spot right here, you can see this little teardrop-shaped thing that's going into a ripped, into her ripped stockings, but it looks kind of like a droplet falling into a cup. Yeah, there's a white swirl in the middle, and when you go on to the next, when the light kind of brings it to white balance that the camera can handle, aka we just colored everything white, they kept the line art of it, and they made sure that the squiggle, the swirl, was still colored in black to kind of show that it's still there. They showed its outline even more clearly. And also, despite the extreme colors, the brightness of the rainbow part of her little hip accessory, that part is still remaining the same, so the color pierces through, even though everything is essentially black and white. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I love the Starry Night. Like, this is the Van Gogh stuff right here. Fantastic looking.
Myself a new extra large net.
Extra large net. What are you trying to catch? Sea monster?
Actually, you know what? Why in the world are these guys trying to go fishing in the middle of a storm? That's so dangerous. Maybe they said they want to catch a sea monster. I guess that's how it is.
Rumor 1. The sea monster only appears on stormy nights.
Gotcha, and she's blushing? Why are you just sitting in the rain on the dock like this? Also, just to be realistic for 1 second, if she has a white shirt, it wouldn't be see-through. Anyways, moving on.
Goody.
It'd be see-through if it was wet. Moving on. Dang, she's aura farming.
Something? Could you
Oh, come on, she's looking for something.
help me find it?
Yeah, you teleported behind them! Gosh dang, she looks so menacing. I really do like... Yeah, so the brightness and saturation of her eyes isn't changing at all, but it pierces through everything because everything else in the photo is super duper dark. So they darken everything, but the eyes stay the same brightness. But because everything is darker, the white part seems a lot more piercing. Same for this little lantern bit. I guess that's what that is. I was wondering what it was she had on her hip, because it's like this kind of rainbow color, but I guess it's just a lamp. Dang, you think she could call these guys racist? Like, I feel like this is behavior that's a little bit mean against the octopus sirens. Well, actually, I imagine octopus sirens are incredibly rare, but that's how it goes, I guess. So she doesn't really look like she has tentacles and that's it. And aside from that, the rest of her looks human. Why would you call her a sea monster?
Sees every secret secret this town hides.
Okay, hang on. If she's doing this, then never mind. We can call her Shimasu. That's very scary. Oh, wait, her... Okay, that was wild. Those are the those are tentacles. They light up. Never mind. If they all move, like if the flippin' octopus suction cup bits that have moving, glowing eyeballs in them, yeah, never mind. It makes sense that they're scared of her.
She calls her kin from the darkness.
Like, her eyes are gorgeous. Gosh dang. Again, her eyes stick out a ton because everything else in the drawing is super duper dark. It's a really, really nice technique. It makes stuff super duper pop. Good job, artists. And I guess they are kind of leading into that it's kind of spooky season. It's Halloween season. We got the black cats. And then we have the kind of spooky Halloween music in the background.
Might be good material for my next apocalypse story.
They did mention she was an author, but we didn't really explore what kind of stuff she liked to write. So it looks like she does specialize more in apocalypse stories, or maybe even just like spooky stories in general, because she is from the Spook Shack, right?
Oh, this isn't a snack. You can't eat it.
That's her compass. Okay.
Ouch. No biting.
What? Okay, sorry. I was caught off guard. What is this? And why is there a heart? That can only... She enjoyed it, guys. She enjoyed the pain of getting scratched. Also, this is really cool. So these two lights here, it's the cat's eyes. So it's swiping at her with its claw, and you can see the cat's eyes from the eye. That's pretty cool. Really, eyes from the darkness. Yeah, so it's the two slashes, and then the final slash is you can see the cat's eyes.
So you mean it only shows up on rainy nights? Rumored too.
Who are these people?
Monster lurks in its
This character design, but like it's not even that crazy. It's really just her face. But the one covered eye, the gray hair, and then the slight tan skin with the red eye. This character like really pops out. I'm kinda hoping this is them teasing like a future playable character. And she shows up way later. I don't know what it is, but when you give like a character with like darker skin, that's not like super duper dark, but like just, you know, a more dark skin tone with like white or silver hair, it just always sticks out. Maybe because it's not, you know, it's not super duper realistic, but like, it's such a good combo. Also, the smug aura of that character, really, really good.
Performing a secret ritual. Hello? Public Safety Patrol. Anyone home?
Oh, she's a cat lady! So she just keeps a bunch of cats, but they don't really like her because she's an octopus. I mean, well, you know, as you all know, and then she's an octopus, and the cats, they like seafood, usually. Well, I know, not all of them, all individuals, but for the most part, we know cats like fish, and maybe by extension, octopuses, octopi, and you can see she's covered in scratches, but she's still sleeping cozy with all her kitties.
And anyone who dares approach is turned away. Oh, is it evening already?
So if you're gonna go back, I gotta see that again. Very simple, like, puppet animation, but, like, when you do really slow movements, like slowly opening the eyes, that stuff, getting the timing for it is very, very hard, so I kind of just want to go over it. You can see, they made it kind of stutterable a bit. She opens her eyes slightly, and then she recloses them to kind of show that she's kind of struggling to open her eyes. Or maybe it's just too bright for her, right? And then you can see her brow furrows a little bit. It's too bright. I don't want to open my eyes. That's pretty good. That's a lot of expression for such a simple shot.
Is anyone in? That's when she shows her true face.
Where are her pants? No, she has like really short shorts, but normally she has stockings on, right?
Sorry to bother.
It's the girl from Jane Doe's teaser. Reports of a sea monster sighting in the area. Okay, if there's reports of a sea monster, why are you not, like, it's night in the middle of a storm, ma'am? Why are you knocking on my door? Wouldn't it just be a simple, like, you know, we're gonna go check out the area, make sure it's safe? Why are we knocking on people's doors?
Sea monster sighting in the area.
No way, she's naked. She's naked. Also, alright, I gotta point this out. She's a live 2 puppet, live 2D puppet animation right here. Ben, that's oh no, this also is live 2D puppet animation, but it's a lot more expressive. Why? Because the art style is a lot simpler. I will point out, even though her hand is looking a little sketchy, I often find that sketchy art is a lot harder to pull off in a professional setting, so this looks really, really good. Even having the blush show over top of her clipboard, I feel like that's a, you know, as a stylistic choice that makes it, you can, because like her face is already covered, but the blush is so strong that it's showing even past being covered up. I kind of like that.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, forgive.
Oh, wait, okay, that's really cool. Her suction cups are, I guess she doesn't have full control over what they suction, so when she was like wrapped up in her tentacles, they were actually like sticking to her face because she was in a position for too long.
Give me a moment.
Also, the one the bed had is really, really cute. And second, I guess she's not the type of character that gets really embarrassed from being seen. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Her outfit is very, already scantily clad, like, even by ZGZ standards. Like, her outfit, like, it has a lot of skin showing, so I feel like maybe she's a little bit more confident in her body, and then also just, she doesn't mind.
A town? A sea monster? A ritual? Then what about this? This is the most important room.
Who are these two characters? Are they naked? What are they wearing?
Monster. Leads to the sea monster. Shh.
What? Oh, wait a minute.
I can feel it. She's close.
Okay, no, actually, no, literally, what are they wearing? It's like, they're not wearing much.
Close? You mean in the hot spring?
It's like a cloak and then like a towel? Oh, wait a minute. Why is Yidhari naked? Are they in a hot spring? Wait, no, it literally says hot spring siren. Okay, this is the hot spring. That's why they're quote-unquote naked. They're wearing 2 towels. They have an extra towel if you're like playing a game in the hot spring, just for fun.
Name into the compass. She'll. Well then, what is her name? I'd like to hear it too.
Dang, so scary, guys. Admittedly, your eyes are gorgeous. Look at the little jiggle physics they put in the eyes. Now, normally they don't do that in anime. But in VTubers, it is the most common thing ever because it makes the characters feel more alive. Even though real eyes don't squish and wiggle in real life, right? You know, the iris will dilate and stuff, right? But, or not the iris, the pupil will dilate and stuff, so that can shrink and grow. And there's a little bit of movement, but they're not bouncy, right? That's not how eyes are. But VTubers do that because it brings life to the character, because more movement means it feels more alive. And in this case, they're really adding the jiggle to her eyes here, but kind of show that she's full of life and she's excited. Oh, that is full 2D animation. Yeah, they're literally naked. Well, they have towels on, but then why are you scared? You're the one telling the scary story. Okay, we gotta bring this up. As we all know in Hoiverse games, the moons are very, very important, right? There's always very cool lore behind the moons. Especially right now, Genshin is capitalizing off of their moon lore, right? And they also talk about a little bit in Honkai Star Rail. It's all because Hoiverse's original game was a game about the moon, and so they kind of traditionally hold to that the moon will hold significance in every game forward, even in Honkai Impact. And in Zenless Zone Zero, I think it's no exception. There is definitely something up with the moon. I mean, I believe Wise called it at one point the Mirage Moon, and you can look, it's already half corrupted. Which, that is insane, right? If you consider how hollows work and how corruptions work. It's a bit odd that you know, it's not really in a hollow, and yet half of it is corrupted, which makes me think that that is actually a giant sacrifice, or maybe even a giant ethereal, or maybe the hollows originate from the moon. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see in the future with the lore. I have to know, I really like that they voice these characters that are screaming and stuff. Their voice a little bit lower. I mean, the girl screaming mommy, her voice is pretty low pitched. You know, for anime girl characters, and I appreciate that. I do think we should start normalizing the lower voices. I know anime fans tend to have an aversion to the low-pitched anime girls because they're like, it sounds weird. But I think we've just gotten used to seeing high-pitched anime girls, and finally now that English dubs have been starting to become more of a standard, especially in these dubbed games, it is reaching a point where we're having more normalized, you know, like girl voices, which is not saying the low voices are common and, you know, that's how they should all be, but more just that, you know, there's a range in people's voices. So hearing that, right, it's like the one girl high-pitched, the other girl has a lower-pitched voice. There's range. It's not all just cutesy high-pitched anime voices. Am I like that?
This little town really has a flair for spooky stories.
Admittedly, when it was named Hot Spring Siren, I was expecting this to be a lot more fanservice-y. This one was surprisingly tasteful for, like, you know, like if you look at like the other like ZZZ teasers and trailers, right? Like Polkra's teaser, which you was zooming in on everything. The Jane Doe's character demo, right? We all know that one. That one's kind of legendary as the one that kind of showed us, hey, put on headphones, right? They didn't do that here. But I am curious if they'll do that in Yidhari's character demo. I imagine they're gonna give her some special treatment, especially with how on par her character model is. With, I mean, comparatively to all other characters, I feel like the physics on Yidhari's model are quite extreme. Her proportions are also... It's partially her outfit, too. Because her outfit is designed in such a way that it makes things jiggle more. There's not a lot of support there, so... I'm actually a little surprised that this is a Hot Springs teaser for a character, and we're not going full absolute Gunner, right? It's leaning more to just the fact that she's kind of spooky, and of course it's like, you know, everyone can think of, oh, she is naked, but like, it's not like zooming in everything, right? Like, they've always really covered up a lot of her character here. It's more leaning into how, like, scary she is, even in such a vulnerable state. So I think this was a lot more tasteful in terms of their fan service. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying fan service is bad, okay? I'm sure the community in Zenless, like, they've accepted it. It's part of the game's identity, and it's part of what we enjoy about the game. But I also think that, you know, it can't always be Gooning time, you know what I mean? And this time, I feel like it's really not super duper Gunner. It's really, I think it's tasteful this time. Anyway, let's watch over it again, this time without pausing. Alright, I spent the whopping 18 minutes breaking it down, going over all the art, the direction, but actually not even fully the direction. There's a lot of the stuff that's like really interesting. Actually, now that we're rewatching it, we can see the story starts of the teaser. The story starts with them starting the ritual, and then it sends us into a flashback of all these little things that show, hey, a lot of people keep mistaking our dear Yidhari as a sea monster. And you know what, maybe it does make sense that they're mistaking her as a sea monster, because as they did say, octopus sirens are very rare. So, that's really nice. Also, I'm liking the music. It's feeling very Bloodborne-y. Maybe that's not the proper, maybe it's not the proper term.
I seem to have lost something.
But there's definitely like a build-up to it.
The sea monster sees every secret this town hides.
The fact that her tentacles can do that is like, yeah, no wonder everyone's so like scared of her. That compass seems to be like really important. You know what? It's because she is a proxy. They confirmed it in game, which means she's a navigator. So she's probably commonly going about adventures, and so she needs that compass to actually figure out where she's going. Oh, wait a minute. There was a lot of cats, not just the two of them.
shows up on rainy nights. Rumor.
And then cut over to me. Oh, you can even see steam in the background. Okay, so they've been teasing it from. I mean, it's in the title, but visually they've been teasing it for quite a bit. So did she just adopt all these cats, or like what's happening?
Anyone who dares approach is turned away.
As you could also, I don't know if you saw, I'm not gonna pause it and go back, but there was wine on the. There's wine on the table, so she's actually drunk here. That's why she's naked. She probably just wanted to get comfortable.
No one dares look at
Especially because she got scratched a bunch by the...
Of a sea monster sighting in the
Yeah,
area?
scratched a bunch by the cats, so maybe she took a bath to, you know, disinfect the wounds.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
And then she had a little bit to drink because, well, when you have a warm bath, you kind of want to drink, especially on a story
A
night.
town, a sea monster, a ritual. Then, what about this? This is the most important rumor.
I am curious, like, why did these two, like, they found Yidhari's, that's literally her compass. They just found it in the hot spring and they're like, alright,
I can feel
let's
it.
start doing rituals. Well, I mean, maybe it's you know, it's probably the girl with the white hair just wanted to prank your friend.
Legend says if you whisper her
And
name into
then-
the compass,
And then, it turns out the compass belongs to someone that actually looks quite scary.
I'd like to hear it.
And she wants to join in because she's an author. She wants to hear their story. Okay, I see. And then they got both scared. I will say the shot of Yidhari when it was her back and you could see her shoulder blades, the shading went extra detailed. That's honestly the most fan service in this trailer. I know there's a little bit of boob jiggle a little bit early on. I feel like them going hardcore on the shoulder blades. I feel like that was probably their most exposed moment. And I know I talk about the fan service a lot in this, but like it's part of the game's identity. So I figured I may as well talk about it. But also, like, you know, we don't want to hop into it too deep. Anyway, that is Yidhari's teaser trailer. I think they did a pretty good job. Definitely gives me a lot more of a feel for the character because she wasn't too present in the main story, and then her event story was about her, you know, processing a lot of trauma and other things related to her past. And so we still haven't interacted with her on a more personal level. I guess a lot of the people that do end up pulling her will see more of her character, but I'm wondering if the people that didn't pull her, if we're gonna get the, you know, deep dive into this character's personality and like who she is even further than just this. Hopefully the demo shows us a lot more. Or maybe it'll just be another fan service pass, which I think I'd be okay with that because this teaser was very tasteful. So I feel like the next one doesn't have to be as tasteful, if that makes sense. Or, you know, tasteful in one way, right? We all know fan service can be tasteful in its own way. But yeah, that's a teaser. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. Goodness, this is 22 minutes. I'm sorry it took so long for me to yap about everything, but I hope the breakdown was insightful and I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. Lets me know that you guys want more content like this one. And if you are going to be pulling Yidhari, let me know in the comments down below. I would like to hear what you guys think of the teaser. And if you want her character, if you want the pull for her, or if you're going to be skipping in to say for future characters, because we know Banyue and Dialid, and Yi Wang, and the virtual idols, and Zhao are coming, although I guess not everyone wants to pull for the Labubu. But we'll be seeing. And also, if you watch this far, and somehow you're not subscribed, then please hit that subscribe button, bell notification, because it lets me know, or it lets you know, that I'll be uploading more videos and when they're uploaded. And also, we cover all kinds of Zenless Zone Zero content on this channel. Alright, I love Zenless Zone Zero. I'm gonna keep playing it. You want to see Zenless Zone Zero content? Subscribe! Alright, I also live stream on YouTube as well, right? I live stream on the channel also on Twitch. So if you want to see my reactions to the stories, VODs are up, and you can see my reactions to future stories and my breakdowns in real time, which ends up in the streams being quite long, so you get more content. Anyway, with that one, hope you all had a good one. Remember, Antonia up in 10 ways are nice, so I will see you all next time. Bye! This is a crazy frame to end on.